super pumped. We've done a lot of work this week. At least I have. I got a full-time job that's really eating my lunch, and then I also run Low Voltage Nation on the side, which is like 60 hours a week. And I think Marco could also agree that we're definitely doing a lot of work. Luckily, we're single men, and we're young, and we have energy. I think at least I do at this point. But want to kick it off with a quote, and it says, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." It's Aristotle. So the reason why we do these meetings and we've been consistent with them week over week is because we're trying to form that habit and build something excellent. And I think we're on a pretty solid path, and I hope everybody agrees. So the purpose of this meeting and it's to build the community. We're also rolling out the gold standard, which is in my opinion a pretty big deal for the industry and for us as professionals and installers and technicians. We also have a big focus on growth strategies. So if you look at something like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, these are all huge amplification mechanisms for what we're trying to accomplish. And I'm really big on all the platforms and definitely encourage people to get involved as much as possible. And lastly, knowledge sharing. Knowledge sharing is huge. I think it's community over competition. I think that's one of the hashtags that Pierce has started, and I know that Kramer Snugs promotes that as well. But we're all in this together. We're here to learn together and share ideas and share business as well. So it's not about the competition. It's about making the industry better with the gold standard and not really competing, but building the community. So it's kind of where we're at. I did press record. So this will be recorded and it'll be published on YouTube for your listening and viewing pleasure after the meeting. Keep your phones on mute unless you're talking. And I think Mike just joined. Hey, Mike, are you there? Vertical Cable. I see your name in there, and I'm pretty sure you're there. But I'll get you on the attendees list. Just let me know if you can unmute yourself at some point, because you're going to be a big part of the agenda as well. Cool. So we got a couple organizers, kind of loosely, obviously me, and then I want Zach to walk through like a lot of the work that he's done with, especially the parts list for the 14U rack, the small medium-sized business rack that we're going to be building out prior to the show, to the meetup, and we'll just go through that, look at the action items and the owners and how many things we need to get coordinated and where they're going to go exactly. So, with that being said, previous action items, follow all the ambassadors. If you're not already, make sure you're on LinkedIn, Facebook. Instagram is one of the central hubs. Just want to remind everybody that Instagram is a huge community, and just be very very positive and engage with the ambassadors. Just keep pumping that content out there. It's a really great platform to showcase your work and just interact with the ambassadors in a healthy and positive way. That's what I keep encouraging people to do. It's we like to lift each other up and help each other where we can. The LVN meetup in Nashville is right around the corner. It's a little over a month away, which is like really exciting. And I actually have Christina. She's in the room with me right now, and she's been like insanely instrumental in the organization. She actually did most of it, getting the Cambria Hotel and getting some other stuff coordinated. So thank you, Christina. She's nodding her head and smiling, sort of. So I want to go over the brief agenda that I created probably about 5 minutes prior to this meeting. This will be a collaborative document if you guys have any suggestions, but it's just it's going to be a loose, kind of casual meet and greet for everybody. But at the same time, we want to really push the gold standard and build this rack out with the help of people like Mark Nagao from Cisco Small Business, Vertical Cable. Mike has been a very huge advocate of what we got going on here, and he's going to be attending and going to be providing us with some parts and some hardware and some tools and record some video content. So that's actually really, really exciting to get them on board in that fashion and that much. So,
yay!
Hey, who is that? Who just said yay?
It's Mike.
Okay, good. I was wondering if people could still hear me, because like everybody's been so silent that you didn't respond. So, Mike, like I've never spoken with you like on like the phone. We've always gone on like Facebook.
Lucky you.
How are you, man? Thanks for coming.
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see the agenda right now, but I'm sharing my screen, and I just want to make sure that we're on the same
I
page.
can.
You can? Okay, cool. And then Slack is on the right-hand side. So how we do that is we have the ambassador channel open, so if people want to drop in links of relevant information, or kind of just put in questions, or if people aren't on the phone call, then they kind of give updates in the Slack channel. So Slack is like the huge mechanism for all the communication we do for LVN.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. So this is the loose agenda. We're gonna be updating it with some pictures. Probably drop in the picture of the rack that Zach put together. And let's see. Tiffany says I stepped out of a Packer party to hop on Cold Stand. Yes, I love that. Chris, are you on the call right now? Where are you?
I am.
Wait. So what's a Packer party? Is it like a Green Bay Packer party?
Yeah, it's the Packer game. We're just finishing a couple sites out here in Denver, so I chased down a Packer bar and hopped in here. So
well, this is obviously more important than some silly sports ball party.
I mean, that's why I'm here. Although I'm not sure I agree with that sentiment. But
I know. I'm kidding. I like playing sports more than like drinking beer and watching them. So that's just my stance.
It's because you just got to upgrade to some good old fashions, the Wisconsin style, none of that beer stuff,
I guess.
Some brandy old fashions.
Oh, good. Yeah. The Titans are playing today, so I was at church, and it's right beside the Titan Stadium. So I just walked to church. I don't mess around with all that crazy. An opposing team comes into town, they take over the city, and it's just like, okay, when is this going to end?
Gosh, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we got Mike and we got Chris, Tiffany. Let's see if anybody else joined. Oh, cool. I got Uncle Bear. Uncle Bear just joined, and then and then we got Mick down under getting after the Monday.
Yes, I'm here, mate.
There he is. Heck yeah.
Just trying to stay quiet, sorry, mate. So everyone's still asleep in the house at the moment.
Yeah. Shh, be quiet.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Hello.
Mick Andrews. Cool, man. Yep. So just to recap, if you guys didn't hear, we're just kind of going over the the meetup agenda, and then logistics. It's going to be, Christine, is it 1 to 5 p.m.? 1 to 5 p.m. Central. And 1 to 5 p.m. Central. If you guys are coming in town, it's going to be at Cambria Hotel downtown. There's still rooms available. Do you know if there are, Christina?
Yes, there are. There are rates going if they book this too.
There's rates going? Okay. We'll get more details on that. But there's still rooms available, but there's plenty of hotels like around the area. You can just like Uber or Lyft or whatever. So, we got all that locked down. It's pretty exciting stuff. Thanks to Christina. And what I want to really promote is the Meetup channel. So as we move forward and get closer to those dates, like this will be like any Meetup moving forward is all the data is going to be pumped into this channel on Slack. And then while we're at the Meetup, I'm going to try and do some like live streaming stuff, kind of do like an ambassador mastermind meeting, but also have like the Meetup Slack open on like a projector or a computer, and then people can kind of chime in, or if you have any questions or you're lost or something, you can't find a hotel, whatever, just drop it into the Meetup channel, and we'll try and help you as best as possible. Don't call me or text me. I will be busy. Drop it in Slack. Phone's on mute. Clicky click person phone mute. I hear Christmas music now. Phone's on mute, people. I don't, man. I'll find out who that is. I can figure it out. Okay. All right. Yeah. Now you mute it. All right. Moving on. So let's get down into the nitty gritty of the LVN gold standard. So this, in my opinion, is a great starting point. We're looking at a 14U small to medium sized business data rack that will cover, the lion's share of scenarios, the 90% of what we run into for a small to medium sized business, and how we can kind of do like a baseline. This is what we think it should look like, whether it, for structured cabling, for using patch panels, keystones, as well as like switches and routers. So we really want to hammer down just a really solid baseline. But not only that, we want to use this as leverage. So when we go to a customer site, we can say, hey, like, look, this is what we do. This is how we do it well. And we have standards, and we want to adhere to them as much as possible. Obviously, every scenario is going to be different, but we do have a solid baseline, and we can use that as a leverage point to really push what we think is how these types of things should be done. So I want to kind of kick it over to Zach, and let's talk about this spreadsheet you put together. Let me expand it a little bit. It's pretty large, and I want to make sure that we're all on the same page in terms of who owns what, and are we going to be able to accommodate and get all this equipment. So Zach, are you still there?
Yep, I'm right here.
Okay, so give me a rundown as to what your thought process was around this.
So for the sheet, the reason for the Google Sheet was basically to optimize and get a full inventory list of everything we're going to need to build this rack per the first model that I did in a mock-up for the first show. So I basically I came up with every part that we would possibly need to put in this thing for the essentials. Obviously, anything extra or spare would be great and very useful in the event something got lost or broken in transport. But as for this, it's basically assigning. As for the vertical cable stuff, I don't know vertical cable at all. So I basically put the part, quantity needed, source, what its purpose is. We can keep track of what goes to what, and then the person responsible for it. So Blake, I assigned everything to you for the vertical cable, as you have the connection with Mike. I don't know anything vertical cable. We're not a vertical cable customer as of yet. And then I basically, I went through, found everything, assigned it to a person, and, that's basically it.
Yep. Okay. So since we have Mike on the phone, let's just kind of put him on the spot and make sure that we're on the same page with these. Mike, what are your thoughts on this? Are we going to be able to get these units to me in Nashville prior to the meetup?
Yeah. So we spoke with Zach, and I think Zach spoke with Pierce, and we'll be using those slim patch cords, Cat 6A. That was the only thing that I had a question about. But yeah, other than that, and I had a question about the rack, but I think Pierce is providing one. So yeah, other than that, I think we're all set.
Okay. Now, were you going to ship it to me, or are you going to take it on the flight?
No, I'll ship it to you. I'm not a crazy person, okay?
That's what I figured. Wait, so what's up with Pierce? Is Pierce on the call right now? I don't think he is. So I want to figure out this rack.
He's not, but if you have any questions on it, I mean, I know Pierce's equipment inside and out. So
yeah,
And I talked to Pierce on the phone about this as well. So the plan was he has access to, what manufacturer does he use? I forgot the manufacturer. But he has access to those racks so that Chatsworth, yes. That won't be an issue getting those. So he has those lined up. And then he said also someone else was willing to donate a AdiW Rocks one as well.
Yeah, that's myself. So keep in mind, the ADI one is a 14U. The Chatsworth one that's typically used, I'm looking to pull up the part number. I think technically it's a 12U. It's marketed as a 13U, but it's closer to a 12U. But I can try and find that particular model. But I think we were looking to just go with the Chatsworth one. But technically it's not a 14U. It's a 13U rack. That's the only notation I have on that.
Okay, and I think that final design I did was for a 13U.
Okay.
Find the picture real quick and make sure. But you said it was closer to a 12U, so is it 13 or 12?
I'm pulling it up here. Give me 2 seconds. I'll follow up right through here.
Okay, so I had the thing maxed out, so I want to be sure either way.
Yeah, I sort of forget because we just use the same ones all the time, so it's like one of those deals where you just don't really even don't really even think about it, you know?
Right.
Let's see here. Yeah, continue on. I'll update you here shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that Pierce or somebody's going to be shipping. I think the best route is just to ship it to me.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
fine. I mean,
yeah.
if for some odd reason Pierce can't, I have both Chatsworth and ADI racks. I have both those racks in stock. That can either get shipped, or I mean, I can check bag them as well. But
Okay, so
they can get shipped without a problem.
okay, so Chris, you are attending.
Yeah, I should be able to.
Cool.
My schedule's
Awesome.
currently clear. And like I said, if Pierce is able to go, then it means our big
Yeah,
veterinarian
yeah.
client doesn't have anything that weekend, so
Right.
we should be able to make it work.
So I'll just kind of put Pierce / Chris will ship Chatsworth rack. 14 is it a 14U? Because that's what we designed.
So the Chatsworth rack is technically a 12U. The ADI rack is a 14U. They're the same height, but Chatsworth eats up more space with their brackets.
And this is like an open rack, open wall mount.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So then, if that's the case, this design's gonna have to be modified because there's 14U of equipment that are going in it.
Right.
So that'd be an issue.
I'll throw a link to the Chatsworth one. I just threw it in the ambassadors channel. And then I'll throw a link to the ADI 14U as well. I know it was mentioned that we're only looking to do one rack. That's fine. I'm still like, I don't care. My ADI rep will donate a 14U rack, no problem. So if for some reason, we want to ship both of them and choose whatever, I don't care. I just, I'll help out wherever needed, whatever we need to do.
So one thing I'm noticing with this Chatsworth rack is it looks like it's wall mount only. I don't know for a demo standpoint how it would work going on a table.
For a demo standpoint, you pretty much just have to mount it to a plywood backboard, and then use it on the table.
That's the table right there in the middle. You see that? I don't know how that's going to work.
I just sent you a link to the 14U ADI, which does have feet and is fully, is floor standing or wall mountable.
See, I think the ADI rack would be a smarter way to go for this.
Yeah.
As it's not going to damage a table. It's not going to have structural issues.
We use them quite a bit, and only because and nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Chatsworth ones. I like Chatsworth better as a company. I like the ADI ones simply because if you look at the photo, the top and bottom bracket come off on the front, so it gives you full edge-to-edge U space, and then it's got screw points, so you can actually stack them, so you can do two of them to turn into a 28U, which we use pretty heavily on a lot of our expandable sites. And for us at least, it's available nationwide. We don't have to do any crazy ordering whatever versus having to order it from Annexter or whatever, which Annexter isn't one of our primary vendors typically. So but like I said, I like the Chatsworth one as well. So, and I'd be fine with, my opinion pretty much is just, we'd be fine with if we wanted to take both of them, and then, you could always set the Chatsworth one up and just work on the ADI one, whatever, they're easy enough to deal with. So
yeah, that's actually a good point. Let's plan
even if we
for
only want to build one rack, we could ship both of them. It's cheap.
I would say I don't like having extra stuff we don't need, but I kind of like that idea of having both. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Well, I would say in terms of how this is going to be used, the Chatsworth rack, now actually seeing a picture of it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever because there's just...
I agree.
What do you guys think of the one that I just sent over, that desktop model?
The Triplite?
Yeah. Just because for demonstration purposes, it will be easier to mount. It's still view. I've used them a lot for our bench setup stuff.
We would need a 14U because the design that Zach did is a 14U, correct, Zach?
Yeah, and I can check the Triplite website real quick, but I'm pretty sure they probably make that in a 14U. They make pretty much every size to ever exist,
I like that style. How sturdy is that though? Sure, it's fine.
Pretty good. They're pretty good. And then once you mount the little devices in the front of the rails, that's when it's really going to tighten up and square up everything.
That's actually interesting for demonstration purposes. Like the ADI one seems like super bulky, but I like the fact that it's feet on it.
If you're trying to ship it, I mean, it doesn't matter, but like the either the ADI one or the Chatsworth one, whatever. I mean, if you're trying to ship it around, you can just basically build a plywood box. So you can screw plywood right around it, and then that way you basically just ship a square box.
I got you. Yeah. All right, let's make a decision.
So yeah, I'm looking up that desktop one real quick.
Okay. I'm thinking either ADI or
They make
AAA.
a 12 or 13 at 25. So it looks like we'll be 1 year short if we went with that one.
So the 13U is a 2-post open frame center. It's a 2-post relay rack, which isn't really
It's not going to work, yeah.
That's
I mean,
a
we're
good
all about it.
point. Yeah. All right, let's go with the ADI one. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right, cool.
Right.
I think that's good.
Because I won't
like
pay
that.
for it either.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
We won't be paying for the ADI one either.
Okay,
I'll make
good.
It's
sure.
like we'd have to buy anyway.
Yeah, I'll make sure that either, like I said, my ADI rep said he should be able to comp it. If he can't for some odd reason, I'll cover it. We probably have 6 or 8 of them sitting in the warehouse right now. So.
Okay, so that's a Chris action item. We can count on that.
Yep, no worries there.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
I'd probably still recommend the Chatsworth one because it comes in a super small box, and Pierce is happy to bring one with.
Okay. Let's do that too.
Just if nothing else, and you can assemble it off to the side, whatever, and you can kind of see the two because there are some distinct advantages to the Chatsworth one. It is a very nice rack.
Sure.
Not as great for working on the middle of a counter, but from a SMB install standpoint, is definitely a nice rack.
Yeah. I do like that. What I'm looking at with the Chatsworth. So let's just do that. So have Pierce bring. It's a 14U, correct? Or is that
It's technically a 12U is the
12U?
model number on it.
Okay, I got you. All right, that'll be cool though. It's easy to ship.
Okay, so wait, are we back to the Chatsworth Rock? I take it?
We're looking
No,
to build the W box ADI rack is the one we're looking to build out, but we'll have the Chatsworth rack available as well. We can assemble it, and that way, you can kind of look at the different racks. It'll be easier to build our build out in the ADI rack because of the floor mount feet, everything like that on the middle of a table. But that way we kind of have 2 different racks to showcase. We're just going to build the one.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually like that idea. I don't like to overcomplicate things, but I actually like that idea. Let's roll with it. All right, let's go back to the parts list. So we're good for vertical cable. We got the rack. What other mission critical items are we looking at?
The Cisco equipment.
Okay.
That's an important one.
Yeah, it's very important. So I have a 48 port. I forget the model number. It's one that Mark McGow sent me.
Is it PoE?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm getting some feedback, so phone's on mute, I think.
It's probably a 350, Blake.
It's probably a 350.
Yeah. It's either 350 or 550.
Hey, it's underneath my bed right now, not being used. I should probably power it on, make sure it works. Christina's gonna get it. Yeah, I think it is a 350. So switch. I got a 24 port and a 48 port, a 50 port PoE. Okay. What else do we need?
And then we need. Let me get back to the sheet here. We need the router, and then just search Cisco in here.
Oh, we're doing 2 48 port switches, correct? One PoE.
Right. Mark said he could take care of the rest of them, though. So that's not. He said he basically has infinite switches he can get to us.
Another one. Yeah.
So that's not an issue. He said the problematic stuff's going to be the router and the access points. He says he thinks he can get us taken care of at this show here. But he says he may or may not need them back.
Okay. I can talk to Mark, or has anybody else been in communication with him that can move forward?
Yeah,
with
I can
it?
talk to him too, Blake. Whatever. I talk to him pretty regularly.
Yeah. Yeah, let's use the Marco star power to talk to him.
I have his cell phone number, so it's really bad.
You got his cell phone number. Give him a call. Hey, it's Marco. All right, so let's so Marco, reach out to Mark Nagel about, so we need router and access points.
Yeah, just one access point.
Okay, so 1x AP. What is it? It's the 250. It's the SG 250 is what I got. Switch PoE.
Both of them? Are they both 250s?
Yeah, I got a 250. It's a 50 port, and then what does the other one say, Christina? It's a three. I got a 350 24 port, but we need 248 ports.
Right,
So,
248.
Yeah.
All right.
Marco, is the 250 going to work? You think it should be fine, right?
Oh yeah. They're nice. You know, it's just different stacking capabilities, and whatnot.
Okay. Cool. All right, so Marco, reach out to Mark Nagel and see if we can get like have it shipped to me.
Sure.
If possible. We got to figure that out. Okay, what else we got, Zach, on the equipment list?
Let me see here. We have all the vertical cable stuff. Rack shelf. Now, for the rack shelf, is that something that we could get taken care of through vertical cable?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, why not?
Good.
Yeah, I'll just I'll work out with Zach about the shelves, and we'll see what will work out.
Okay. I will mark that as vertical cable.
So vertical cable. Okay. Gotcha.
Let's see. So Blake and I discussed an LTE modem to actually make this a functional network. Blake, have you thought more about that and how you'd like to proceed with a modem?
I have, and I think that one of the questions I was going to ask of Christina, do you know if we have internet access at Cambria? I'm assuming we will, but it's probably going to be like some goofy Wi-Fi stuff. Or is there wired internet? Do you know?
Hey Blake, do you want me to provide one of my cradle points?
Yes, if you can. Yeah,
I can do that. Yeah, no problem.
Provide a what?
Cradle point.
Like
Okay.
like an AER 1600, so it's got a little switch in it and whatnot. But we can just make it, a modem.
Is it rack mountable? It doesn't matter if it's rack mountable, but is it?
That one is not. No.
Okay.
And what was the model of it?
It's an AER 1600.
And it's active. You got like service for it.
Yes.
Okay.
So this has cellular in it to connect to the internet, I take it?
Correct. This one actually has a dual SIM capability, so you could do 2 carriers on it if you wanted to.
Okay. And can we put it into like because as the main router for the network, we're going to have a Cisco router. Can this be put into like a bridge mode to act as a modem?
Yes, we can absolutely do that, and just make it essentially a modem instead of having the internal NIC ports active as well.
Okay, great. And then this will be on your cellular plan, I take it?
Yeah, I'll put it on our corporate plan. That's no problem.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Cool. Who's going to configure all this stuff? Does anybody know Cisco?
I do.
I do.
This Cisco stuff is all web-based. It's not like the Cisco iOS.
I took Cisco in college 8 years ago.
It's mostly easy. Kramer will give you the leaps and bounds that we both jump through to get things to do what they need to do.
Gotcha. But are you going to be on site, Zach, for this meetup, or are you going to be remote?
I hope to be there. Like I said, it'll depend on funds and whatnot.
Maybe Cisco will pay for your expenses. I don't know, man.
Hey, that'd be a good little side gig.
Exactly. Cool. All right. What's next?
Let's see here. Okay, so we got the modem covered. So for this 3U custom MDF mounting board, the matte black, I don't know if anyone else is on the sheet here. This is basically what we're going to mount the keystone jacks in, or well, the plates that we can plug into to plug in laptops, phones in the future, laptop, or I already mentioned laptops, cameras, whatever we want to plug into it. It's basically simulating like a wall somewhere else, but these will just be patched straight into the patch panel. I was going to cut the MDF and cut out 2 or 3 slots in it that are the size you'd cut into drywall for low voltage bracket, and then mount some low voltage brackets in there that we could just put the keystone plate and the keystone jacks in. Does that sound like a good plan? And we can just mount that right in the rack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board with this. I love the idea.
Okay. And there's parts for that. So for the UPS, I know we had discussed this, that it may not be quite feasible to take a full working UPS and put it in here, as you know, with the batteries and stuff that weigh quite a bit. Like I think you said you had one that was a scrap that you could take the batteries out of.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I don't even want to go down that road with the company I work for. I do have a scrap one, but I'm not gonna involve them with this. It's a long story.
Okay.
I have a boatload of Eaton 2U units if for some reason we want one without batteries.
And how deep are they?
They fit in these racks.
Okay.
Or if you want a 1U with batteries, I also have 1U with batteries. I'd rather not pull the batteries out of the 1U though.
Okay. How much does that one you weigh with the batteries?
Oh, with batteries, it's not bad. I think it's like 30 pounds, maybe 25. Okay. We put them both in there. If you put the 2U in there with batteries, you want to use an upside down shelf on the first U to add additional support, or put the UPC hanging out the front, one of the two.
Okay. Would you mind shipping the 1U or bringing it somehow?
Yeah, that should be fine. I just throw it in my check bag. Okay.
Okay. Does that sound good with you, Blake?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's good.
Okay. And who was that offering to bring that?
Chris.
Okay.
I get 210 pounds worth of check bag for my flights, so I can fit a lot.
It is a lot.
Okay. Awesome.
So that's without battery?
The 1U would be with battery.
Oh,
the 2U would be without.
I got you.
Okay, let's go with that. Next up, we have the 10-4 optics fiber equipment and SFPs. So Brent is willing to contribute all that. He said that he would ship it directly to you as well, Blake, so that won't be an issue. So hopefully soon you'll be seeing some fiber optics show up at your door.
Cool.
So it's basically for linking the switches to the router and then uplinking, downlinking the switches together. So pretty basic stuff. And then so we have that taken care of. And then 10-4, they did want to be a sponsor of the event as well. So go ahead and put them on the sponsor list.
Got them down. Yep.
Okay. And then we have more vertical cable. So this next thing, this hasn't been really discussed for the standard or cage nut rack screws. This ADI rack that we're going to have, does it take cage nuts or does it take like a standard threaded screw?
No, it's a standard 1032. I'll grab a bag of Middle Atlantic screws for it.
Okay, great. So it solves that. Put your name down on here.
The rack Pierce is shipping out it uses the 1224, but it'll have enough with it as well. So.
Okay. We have more Cisco. We have that taken care of. And the rest is just vertical cable stuff. So I think we've pretty well discussed this list here.
Cool.
I do have my vendor we've been using pretty heavily, Certified Connections, that's very interested in sponsoring or even attending if there's any additional needs either on this one or definitely anything fiber related in the future or whatnot. So I told them, I'm not trying to step on anything, whatever, but I'd throw it out there that, they are very interested in getting more involved and sponsoring and, doing anything like that. So if there's any spot that you guys, are looking for another vendor to help out in, let me know, and we'd love to have them help out.
What was the name of the company? I think we talked about this, didn't we, Chris?
Yeah, it's Certified Connections. They're out of Massachusetts and Texas.
Yeah. Get me like an introduction somehow. I would like to talk
Perfect.
to them, maybe. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
I like talking to anybody that provides value to the community and has
Absolutely.
better pricing or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been killing it on pricing because they're a little bit smaller firm. I mean, they're patch cable. They just got because we pretty much told them, hey, we want vertical patch cables, and so they know vertical. They didn't carry a lot of their stuff just because vertical does direct sell, and they don't like dealing with vendors that direct sell. But because of my thing, I said, look. I want vertical patch cables and vertical jacks. So either you can stock them and I'll buy them from you, or I'll buy them from somewhere else. So they're stocking them as well.
There you go.
And their price point they've given me is incredible on those. But also just like general Genesis wire and stuff like that. And they use Gigamax and whatnot they carry as well. And your Garvin J hooks and stuff like that. I mean, they're beating ADI and most of the other guys pretty heavily on price, and the service is pretty solid. So I'm very happy with them. But yeah, I'll send an email out, like between you and them, between you and John, and get an intro going. So
That'd be great, man. Thank you.
absolutely.
Cool. Anything else on that list? I think we went through it. Zach. We're
Yeah,
good?
I think that's it. I just want to make sure on this LTE router, was it Chris that offered that?
No, it was Marco.
Oh, Marco. Okay.
And Blake, I don't know if you know, but Farron carries the slimline stuff too, from a different manufacturer. We just that's where we got a whole boatload of them from. Not to jump on your toes, Chris, just more options in case we need it. That's all.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. We've used a lot of brands out there. My only reason really pushing towards vertical is just because they especially now have the matching jacks that match the cables, which I like not being
really?
3 shades off. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
It's good to know. Thank you.
that's why I'm pushing for it on my side, because in the past, like, we've used a few other brands and I like them.
Yeah,
But
you get like a lighter
when my
color
jack
to them or
is-
something, right?
yeah, when my jack is 3 or 4 shades off from the cable, it just isn't quite the same as when it matches perfectly. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in terms of cable connections, they couldn't beat out the pricing we were getting at Guardian for the Keystones, and I wanted to convert all of our guys over to the eye punch down tool and the vertical cable Keystones, but they couldn't beat the pricing. I guess it was from Mono Price. I forget where we're getting it from, but so it's a no-go for vertical cable at Guardian because of that, which kind of makes me a little angry. So I'm always looking at other opportunities for vendors that have better pricing.
yeah, we'll see what Certified does. I know Certified's able to the pricing they're coming out on patch cords is beating Cable and Connections pretty heartily for the same exact vertical cable patch cords. I think they're $1.12 for 6-inch up to $2.14 for 14 footers. And each one in between that is 10 cents more than the last, pretty much. For 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 5 foot, 7 foot, 10 foot. So real solid pricing there, and they'll pretty much do anything I want as far as bulk packaging, stuff like that. I mean, I told them, look, I want 50 packs. Like, that's all I want to buy. Like, I don't want individual package nothing.
Right.
50 or 100 to a bag is what I want, which I mean, Cable and Connections was willing to do as well. So I don't have no issues there whatsoever. Just, different. I like a variety of options, so.
Yep.
And they did also Certified extended us automatically a net 45 account, which was nice, pretty much with no limit on there. So I'm always a fan of that. Makes life easier. So
yeah, we're an unbiased community. If it's better product, better pricing, we're gonna move towards it. That's the bottom line. So cool, man. All right. Next order of business, we're gonna kind of just run down the future build outs. I know that Zach talked about doing some residential like CAN alarm system or security panel build out. So just wanted to just put that on people's radar that we will be doing different scenarios, different gold standards for each type of whether it's access control, VMS, or alarms. So if you have any ideas, you want to start building some concepts out, some drawings for these, just keep that in mind. We got meetups coming up in possibly Fort Lauderdale because it's a lot warmer there, and that's where vertical cable is. So there might be some cool opportunities there to get some additional content, keep rolling out the gold standard for the data rack, as well as next we'll be going to New York City, hopefully, and then Cleveland. So that's probably going to be in the springtime because I'm not going up north in the winter time. So
I'm disappointed that you don't want to come up to Wisconsin in the middle of January or February.
We'll be there, just not in the wintertime. Look, I spent 5 years in Cleveland. I'm not going back in the winter. So. Cool. All right. Next up, we have This was from Eric Winders and Mark Salent. So they were talking back and forth about doing a directory. So Mark Salent put together this document, and Eric Winders was like, well, hey, let's just make a folder. So I just created a folder and I shared it out, I believe, in the Slack channel. If not, it's also in the agenda. But we have the Mastermind meeting agendas. We have the all the stuff we're doing for the meetup stuff. We got the hashtag list. We got the web interview, which reminds me, hey, Marco, have you completed the web interview yet?
I haven't, but I'll promise it'll be done today.
Please, I want to get that out, man. It's going to be so cool.
I know. I apologize.
And so it's going to look like this. I think you've seen it, but if you look at the, you get your picture in the background, you get your name, you get all of your nice content and your interview. So
absolutely.
Yeah, send me a nice picture.
I don't care if you were putting me on a pencil, man. I would do it.
yeah. But if you look at can you get me this picture? This is a good one. You look pretty hardcore in that one. But get me a high
rack.
Yeah, give me a high res of that so I can put that as the feature image.
You got it.
Who's gonna be up next? Who are you gonna interview? Any thoughts on that?
It's a big question.
Yeah,
I'll think about that. I'll ponder that one.
Yeah, ponder that one. But get the questions done first, and I'll publish that whenever you get them over to me.
Cool. Sounds good.
And then we'll all share it out on LinkedIn and Facebook or whatever platform we're on. Cool. Let's do some goal setting and review. We're at that time, folks. I've got a spreadsheet. And something a little bit different. Steve Van Horn had a great idea of taking it off the agenda because what was the reasoning behind that, Steve? It was kind of like psychological impact of unfinished to-do list. What was the?
Well, the clutter.
Yeah, that
more
is,
so.
Right. Yeah,
I was thinking about that last week too, Steve.
Yeah, I saw the the spreadsheet that you did put out.
Yeah,
and I think that's a pretty good. It might need some, fixing or I don't know what you want to call it.
Child and parent
editing.
rows, right?
Yeah, but I think the month. I think that's a pretty good solid. So you just keep everything that you have for the month, and you can have complete or incomplete, and then you can carry on over incomplete to the next month. I don't know. I mean,
do you want to?
My whole thing was just
because initially I had complete for a column. Do you think we should have that?
I think at least, yeah. I mean, so you like checking the box. It's like, hey, yeah, I got that done.
Cool.
But yeah, more so just the clutter of the meeting agenda.
Yes. We'll do percentage. Let's see here.
Well, because you have it also too in alphabetical order, and I'm like scrolling down for 5 minutes trying to get down to me to edit it or whatever.
Yeah. So 100%. All right, let's see. If I do the filtering, let's try this real quick. Y'all bear with me. Spreadsheet skills. Clear, Blake. Boom. 100%. I did 3 podcasts. I think I did. I know I did. Yeah, I did MSP Weekly, which is pretty cool with Brandon Weber. Kramer Snuggs got on that. That was pretty cool. And then I did a fiber cartel. I don't know if you guys have seen what fiber cartel is doing up in Wisconsin right now, but he's doing some pretty cool work. And I think what the goal is Marco and we're going to get a bucket truck and we're going to go to Atlanta with him and make $10,000 a week. How does that sound, Marco? You doing that?
It's on my goals for the week, man. Let me tell you.
Is that on your goals? Get a bucket truck and
get it on paper and we'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. But I talked to Fiber Cartel. I was like, hey, man, put together that list of like the gold standard for a bucket truck and the lab and all the tools you would need to do fiber splicing. And he said it's going to be about $100,000 for like the whole shebang. I was like, make me a list and I'll talk to Marco.
Yeah. Well, I'll get into a little bit of it on my goal setting. I won't steal this thunder right now.
I got you. Okay. Yes, I did another podcast with Mason Bortz last night. He was super tired, but he still brought the Bortz thunder, which was good. That's always fun to get on board with him. And then Marco, I sent you an invite for the next week one. I want to.
Yes, sir. I'm going to jump in.
And if anybody else wants to get on a podcast and do like a week, we're doing these weekly daughter shows. If anybody wants to get on board with one of those or has an idea for another podcast series, just let me know, man. I'm open for ideas for sure.
Yeah,
I have some ideas too, Blake. I'll put them together and shoot them over to you. I've been thinking about them for a while. I just didn't put them on, get them over to you yet.
That's great. And Zach, what were you saying?
I wouldn't mind getting on one at some point.
Yeah. You've never actually been on a podcast, have you, Zach? We gotta do your interview podcast. I think that's the next step.
Yeah, I never have been on one.
Yeah, let's get you on the schedule for sure.
Me too.
Who's that in the background?
That's Ray.
Ray. Okay, I thought you were you were going to be late. So you're here.
Yeah, I've been here for like almost the whole time.
Okay, and then Ray, you've never been on a podcast either. Like I don't know how you guys like
shedding tears, man.
Like how'd you guys sneak in the ambassador channel? Don't get on
like
that.
You guys aren't filling the prerequisites. What is this?
Hey, I've mentioned it.
Have you
really?
I'd
love to get on. I just remember we chatted a couple times, but it's okay. We're all busy. Yeah, whenever.
Blake, new goal for the week, Blake.
What?
New goal for the week.
Well, yeah. Hold on. Let me. I gotta figure this out. So if I go here and I go blanks and then I go boom. Okay, so get Raymond Karam on podcast, and then boom, get Zach Cordova on podcast.
Also, I can't wait to get Mike, the Verico Cable owner, Mike S.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He is an amazing guy, and I just really can't wait for you to talk with him, and it will be a really great podcast for sure.
Work with Mike from VC to get Mike from VC on podcast, right?
Sounds good.
You can get me in touch with him, or should I reach out to him? How do you want to do that?
I'll get it. I'll get him for you.
Yeah.
I'm feeling left out, Blake.
Wait, who is that? Is that Chris Tiffany? Who is that?
You bet.
You're gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to punt you to the following week.
Fine.
I'll put it on the to-do list. Hold on. This is awesome. Get Chris Tiffany on podcast. All right.
I've been called worse.
Yeah. What's the following week? Is that like the 22nd? All right, y'all are killing me, man. Jeez, I'm gonna have to quit my job at some point.
Hey, don't threaten us, Blake.
Who's gonna install Honeywell in Nashville if I quit?
Nobody. It'll get replaced.
I suppose I could, Blake.
Wait, sorry, is that John?
It is, yeah.
Oh man, John knows too much from both sides of the equation. Way too much. All right, enough about me. Let's go to Brandon Weber. Brandon Weber is actually not on the call, but he did. I sent him a link to the spreadsheet, and he filled some stuff in. So we'll just kind of follow up with him throughout the week and see where he's at. Next is Uncle Bear. What's up, Uncle Bear? You still there?
I'm here.
Yes.
Yes. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
So what's going on with you? We had Security Today podcast is what
on
your to-do list, and what's status?
I was looking to get 5 of them written before I started recording, and I only have 1 more left to write. I did get some time on it this week, so.
Oh, so you've done quite a bit. You're like ready to rock and roll with recording. Is that what
I think that I can sit down and maybe like 1 or 2 record sessions and just bust them all out, and then I can release them weekly, and I'm not playing like week by week catch up, you know?
Yeah. What else you got going on, man?
The end of the year for the company I work for, Tech Systems, we do a lot of preventative maintenance checking, and people are usually signed up quarterly for that. And being the end of our year and the end of a quarter, it gets pretty busy. So I'm kind of left and right this week getting some preventative maintenance checks done. So that's just staying on top of that.
Cool.
It's gonna be fun.
Cool, man. All right. Let's see who's next. Chris. Tiffany, what is going on with you? 70 sites, 40 cameras.
Yeah. They had we got that. They had that meeting last week, Monday, on it. They were real happy with what it sounded like we could provide them. They had a big corporate meeting on Friday, and I heard back from my guys there, and we're currently we're in the lead. I mean, we still got to submit some bids and whatnot, but that one could be a nice, healthy one. Full managed IT, phones, cameras, security, access, alarm, end-to-end cabling infrastructure for about 70 facilities to start with. So
that's a lot.
That'd be a nice one. In other words, we'd probably, just open another office down in Missouri and add in half dozen guys down there if we win that bid. So hopefully we can snag that one in. It'd be a good one to start 2020 off with. That's for sure. But it'd also be a little crazy because they're looking, all 70 plus of those locations would be hopefully they're shooting to have open by third quarter 2020. So.
Jeez.
It's pretty insane there, but we've done similar deals in the past, and so hopefully we'll be able to progress things and snag that one. So high hopes, but in the meantime, we're just buttoning up a bunch of odds and ends. Got crews in Georgia, Virginia, and we were out here in Colorado this week, and buttoning up a few more things out in Texas at the end of the week, and then a little time off for family. I'm back out here in Denver and after Christmas for vacation with the lady, and so kind of just trying to finish up 2019 here with a bang and be good to go for next year.
Cool.
Hey, Zachary, where in Colorado and Texas are you this week?
Denver here this week, in Centennial and Thornton, and then where are we? Austin, Texas at the end of the week.
Oh, okay. So I too will be in Texas and Colorado this week, but in the opposite order. I'll be in
nice.
I'll be in Addison, outside of Dallas, visiting open options earlier in the week, and then in Boulder at Saunas. So
Nice. Yeah, we're heading up to I think Boulder this afternoon. Got a friend up there. Gonna go hang out a bit. Our site's finished up early, so had an extra day and a half to kill some time. So the crew ain't too upset. It's still warmer than Wisconsin out here. So.
So what was your specific goal, Chris, for this week? Was there anything like
upcoming goal for pretty much is just to keep buttoning projects up so we can get them on the books this year, So basically we got about a half a dozen projects we're trying to finish this next week to get them finalized and invoiced, So
Gotcha. Yep, makes sense. All right. Thank you, Chris. Who's up next? Eric. Is Eric on the call? I don't think he is. Jacob, what's your status? Are you on the call? I don't think he is either. And then next we have Mr. John Laurie. What have you got going on, man? Rigorous honesty and what else?
Just again trying to not fall behind, not add to the top pile. I've actually had a dose of realism myself. I'm learning that I'm a lot better at bringing in business than I am actually doing the work, and so I'm starting to partner more with a colleague of mine who does a lot of similar things. He's I think I mentioned to you before, he's the guy behind the ZK Techo panel. Mm-hmm. And so I'm bringing in him to help me out on one the reader manufacturer job, and then two other things, because there's no way I'm going to be able to do it in time without help. So it's better to have a smaller piece of a bigger pie than to have no pie. So
right.
Learning to live within my ego. How's that? That's my goal.
Wait, you got to do what with your ego?
Learn to live within it.
Learn to live within. Learn to live within.
Well, okay. I mean, maybe not let my ego get in the way of making money. How's that?
Keep ego in check is what we call it.
Oh, I knew there was a word for it. It's just so foreign.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
come hang out with me for a little bit. I'll introduce you to some people and some programs. All right, that's enough. That's enough of John. Who else we got? Where am I at? Marco. Holy smokes!
Hey, Blake. I'm here.
Yeah. What's on your to-do list? Configure 2 servers.
Oh man. Yeah, I tend to like to play with new toys, so I repurposed a couple servers that I'm gonna restructure and do some VM stuff on. I did get that one that you were talking about. That I think it's an R620. That finally came in, so I'm gonna play with that one. How
much RAM did you get on that one?
I think that one was 64.
64, and is it going to be like an ESXi server, or like what are you going to do with it?
I'll probably do Hyper-V. I've been liking them a lot lately. I don't know why, but
okay. You don't know
but
why.
I mean, I used to be a big VMware guy, so maybe I'll change it up. You know, they're just test servers for the most part.
Yeah, try ESXi, just the free version, and then get a copy of, if you haven't played around with Windows 2019, you can get a 180-day eval for that.
Yep. I have a couple of those running. I got a few, data center versions, and then 2012 I have too, some of the older ones.
Gotcha. Word. What else you got going on?
I have a couple customers in a few different states that we're getting proposals out to for similar to like what Chris was talking about, security, card access cameras for some of their warehouses, like pretty decent size too, 300,000 square feet. So we're going to work on that and get that back to them before the holidays kick in. And then I'm going to look into the whole fiber utility division, if you will, again. You know, we looked at it last year for some work out here, but it wasn't going to be profitable. So now we're looking into that whole thing with possibly doing with fiber cartel. So we'll see.
Oh, so you're like legit thinking about doing this in Atlanta or Wisconsin, or just like in general?
In general.
Yeah.
all over. I have already, I spoke to him yesterday late, to Manny, and my wheels just started turning again because I have a pretty good understanding of the utility division, you know, overhead and underground and everything you need. So my list is reopened, if you will.
Yeah. I want to get involved, so I think I need to go to training
Absolutely.
first. And
it's not too bad.
Not too bad.
I have my faith in you.
So are you pretty good at fiber splicing, like on the level that he's doing?
Yeah, I would say, if not as good, close to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's everything you have to do in life is money, right? That's all it is.
Right.
Dirty green paper. So.
Yeah, but I mean, he's talking 10 to 20 grand a week per technician in Atlanta. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, you know, it's these 5G networks, these new cell sites. I have a family member of mine who actually works in Arizona, New Mexico, Texas area, and they own a lot of the 5G sites or the upgrades.
Right.
That they've been doing. I won't name which utility provider, but they've been extremely, extremely busy. So if you can get in with the right people and have the right crew, you can definitely make good money and keep yourself busy. So
yeah,
it is definitely a very real option.
Atlanta is in my backyard, basically. So I used to drive to Atlanta every morning on Monday and then leave Friday. So it's pretty close. I'm definitely interested.
Great. I will. We will definitely chat once I put some better information together for sure, man.
Yep. What else you got going on this week, Marco?
I think that may be it. I have a couple smaller jobs that we have to get done. I've been pushing them off just because we've been so tied up with some of the bigger jobs, and I want to refocus and get those done because the smaller customers are really where you make your reputation, you know. So we're going to try to get those done this week as well.
Cool. Mark Salent, is he on the call? Haven't really heard from him today. Mark, you there? Cool. Guess not. Mason, did you get on? I know you're tentative. And then Mick Andrews, you still with us?
Hey Blake, still here. Listen.
What so how'd that Bosch alarm job go? Did you get that all squared away? I saw you posting stuff on Slack.
I did, yeah. Finally got that done, and was
all
very
right.
relieved to get that out of the way. But within an hour later, I received a phone call saying the alarm's going off. I'm like, no. So I dialed in, had it synced up to the app, and could disarm it from the app. So, which was good. But I still have to go back out there and troubleshoot now. Find out why this internal sensor was going off. But I just want to say a quick thank you to, I think it's the two guys now you're chasing for a podcast, Raymond and Zach. Thanks for replying to my text that I was dropping in the Slack channel. So
no problem.
Thank you to those guys. I do have to add another sensor to that. So I think we worked out that wire up the power in parallel, but the wire the sensor up in series. So I'm guessing the furthest one. The furthest sensor is the one that has the resistor in it. So I think I'll wire it up.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, so thank you again.
No
and just as far as goals, Blake, I think, did you have written down there about getting a microphone? I still want to...
The Blue Yeti. How's that going?
The Blue Yeti. The guy hasn't posted it yet, so I'm starting to get a bit concerned. Maybe it's a fake ad, or I'm not sure yet. So
he hasn't posted it. What does that mean?
Sent it by courier.
Oh no!
Oh no! I'm starting to think it was too cheap to be good. It was a very. I bought the. Anyway,
Did you lose money? Did you already pay for it?
No, not yet. No.
Okay.
I've been messaging the guy. He seems nice. He goes, I'll post it this day, and then I'll post it on Saturday. Anyway, I might have to just cut my ties with that one and maybe pay full price. I don't know, but
yeah, you might have to. It sounds like it.
Might have to just yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, there's a new one. There's a new Blue Yeti that just came out. It's like the Yeti X or something. It's supposed to be really nice. Yeah, I saw an ad for it, but
yep.
I think it's like $200 though, so it's kind of cost prohibitive for me. I'm still waiting on Theron Forker to send me my free one. I don't think he's gonna send it. I don't think he's gonna send it.
Nah, they seem good, like we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
The price is good, and so
cool. And then what else you got going on? What's on your goal for this week?
Actually, on a bit of a personal level, I went to a chiropractor about a week or two ago, and I've had some lower back pain, and I really think it's from years and years of carrying my tool bag in my right hand.
Probably.
You better put on the goals list. Carry tool bag in the left hand for the next 2 years.
That's a good goal, actually. My right arm is killing me because of the mouse. The way I'm sitting like in the mouse, I need to fix that immediately.
Yep.
Carry the tool bag on other arm.
On other arm, because I have. He said the muscles on either side are either stretched or they're stronger on one side or the other, and it completely makes sense. So there's a health goal there for you.
Gotcha. Cool, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Cool, man.
Yep. See ya. Pierce. Is Pierce on the call? No, he's not. He's supposed to be helping with some LVN meetup stuff, but rest assured that he has action items, and we'll get to them. Let's see who's next. Raymond, what's going on with you, brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, Raymond,
what's my goals for this week? One of my good friends, he owns an AC company, and he's got 2 shops across the street. We did something pretty cool. We installed cameras there, and then we installed a new DSC Neo alarm. And with their line of sight, like their wireless range being far, we put a repeater. We put the receiver on his main building, and we put a repeater all the way down on the other side of the street on the other building, and we were able to have one alarm on 2 separate partitions on one account rather than having 2 accounts. But it was all wireless, so it's pretty cool. So he was pretty excited about that. The only issue in this past couple of days, I'm not really a network guy. One of my best friends, he's a network analyst at a university, but he works with a lot of Cisco and other products. We installed a Ubiquity, and I don't know why I couldn't get the VLAN, my camera VLAN to shoot out DHCP. So until this morning, I'm like, why didn't I ask one of you guys? So I was just like, I've been there for like 3 days, like an idiot, thinking, going back and forth. And right before I got on this call, I'm like, wait a minute, I have this great source. I'm like, why didn't I ask any of the guys? So that was last week's, and I'm hoping to finish that on Tuesday. Just get that VLAN figured out, and then that one project we had with the big yard with the semi trucks, we got that job. So that's going to be our project for this week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got in touch with OpenEye and
oh, sweet.
Anwa. Those guys are really nice.
They are. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So just send out the details if you need some help on that VLAN stuff. I know EdgeOS pretty well for Ubiquity, and then other folks. I think Marco knows it, and Kramer Snugs, and we got some network engineers sort of in the channel. So
yeah, it's a unified product, but I'm sure it's one of you guys could. I think I'm just missing something.
Oh, it's Unify. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm more on like the Edge OS side of things.
Okay.
Pierce does Unify, so he could probably help.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, and some of those get a little difficult with the VLAN stuff. I've had issues with them, and they can be a little touchy, especially with the new software. It's a little hit or miss.
They have a different way of doing. They have a different way of doing things. Feel free to shoot me a DM too if you have any questions. I've got a couple of pretty advanced level Unified guys on our team.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent resource. Cool, man. Thank you, Raymond. Last we have Steve at the very bottom. What do you got? What you got going on, Steve?
Hey, man.
Oh, so you can't see my screen, but you had NICET certification, you had fire panel training, and then content for social media platforms. Those were your goals for last week.
Yeah. I got the paperwork for starting out my NICET. So hopefully this week I can get it all filled out. So once I start studying and getting in, and I think I got like 1 or 2 months to be able to do NICET 1, because I'll be 6 months in. I can go ahead and try to start doing that. And then I talked to one of my bosses, got some resources for NICET through the company. Your fire panel training. We actually got some new management over the month, and was it Thursday? We all got brought in for a meeting, and I was able to get a kind of like a 10-minute one-on-one with our new boss and talk to him about getting sent to some simplex programming classes.
Cool.
So I kind of got that like in his ear since he's new and didn't really know me coming in. And then content for social media, I'm just brainstorming for 2020. Like I've messaged you, in your DMs before. It's just right now being a service tech, it's kind of limited,
right,
as to what I can take pictures of, or
that's hard.
What I can do as far as the customers there, or security, privacy concerns for corporations. So I have some ideas. I'm just brainstorming, just trying to get something tangible that will last and that will hopefully have an effect that I can offer. My strengths, my expertise, I guess, per se.
Yeah, I just stopped taking pictures of customer stuff for the most part. I just want to separate that completely, and then I just kind of started stuff in the lab. Like I'll do just tutorial videos, how-to videos with my lab environment at home, and just keep it like that. Doing customer stuff is just way too risky, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with fire stuff, I mean, as long as it's nothing to, exposure. I have my wits about me and smarts about, common sense things.
Yes.
But I mean, even there's some that I can't even pull my phone out of my pocket or have it with me in some
right. Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking at getting a microphone. I have a couple video stuff I'm looking at. I don't know, trying to set up maybe like a little studio or something just to pump out some, tech videos. So.
Yeah. Are you going to get a camera? Or are you just going to use your phone for the content?
I mean, right now I have my phone. I'm waiting for Christmas. I think I might. There was one of the new GoPros I was looking at, but
sweet.
A lot of I've actually been doing some research on just do it yourself because I'm just like, well, why spend money when I can just kind of fabricate stuff to kind of have the same effect as far as different things. I don't know. So I'm a scrappy person.
Yep.
I'll make it work.
Obviously, a lot of YouTube videos on how to do do-it-yourself studios and just making stuff work and look good with video content. So there's a lot of cheap stuff you can do real easily, real cheap, and look great. Cool, man. All right. I think that's it. Did I miss anybody? Am I leaving anybody out? I feel like I am. Oh yeah, Mike is still on the call. So Mike, we do goal setting on this ambassador meeting. Did you have any goals that you wanted to tackle for this week, other than your long list of parts to get through?
All right, hope you got the beers and chips and
yeah, right.
for another hour for sure. No, I'm really excited about the meetup in January, and we have some stuff going on as well at Vertical. And like for example, I'm just getting we're extending the fiber line, and we just got in some wall mount enclosures and some rack enclosures as well as connectors inserts and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know much about fiber and all these products, so it's pretty exciting for me. So yeah, I'm putting them on the website, to the catalogs and all this marketing stuff. But yeah, other than that, we have many new products. Some packaging is changing. We're bettering it all the time. So yeah, just just scrambling and sometimes running like a chicken without a head. But other than that, all is good.
Hey, how do you pronounce your last name?
Oh, it's called Manskick.
Kolmanskik. Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, I know how to pronounce it. Kolmanskik.
You can just call me Hey You. I will.
Mike K. That's what we'll call you.
Yeah. That's what's happening because we have two mics, and so yeah, I'm Mike K, and the other mic is the Mike or Mike.
Right, and that's the owner of Vertical Cable. The owner.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, man, I really appreciate you hopping on and helping out with all that big list that we have for you.
Of course.
It's exciting, and then you're going to bring some video equipment as well. Is that what we're still doing?
Yeah, I have a couple of phones. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I got some.
Hold on a second. That's not what we talked about.
Yeah, all is good. Yeah, I got some equipment, and yeah, I'm excited about that as well because it will be very useful, not just for vertical cable, but for some of like salespeople or installers. And we go to at least 2 or 3 events, like shows per year at least. And we always show stuff that we have, like videos from the plant. Everybody is very excited. Like not too many people were actually visiting like the real factory, the real plant where the cable is manufactured, and we're bringing that to people, and they appreciate it. So I'm excited about making some videos.
Yeah. Now, are you going to be staying at the Cambria Hotel?
I didn't book anything yet.
Okay.
I don't have a flight. I don't have hotel, but I know that you live there. So worst scenario, I will just crash on the couch.
It's actually not. The couch is very uncomfortable. You do not want to sleep.
That's okay. Low maintenance here. So
yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say if you're gonna be at the hotel, we could do some video content prior because Christina and I would be there very early and just kind of setting some stuff up if you wanted to get some stuff done before the actual meetup. So that's always an option.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'll check the flights and I'll keep you posted.
Cool. All right, sounds good. Well, I think we're about wrapped up here. The shirts, I think it's gonna end like today. Is the group order. I don't even know. It closes in 8 hours. Okay.
I'll check that for you too, Blake, to see if any. I don't know how many people ordered them actually.
I think just 2 people. I
know, what the heck, man? We better light a flame under somebody.
Yeah, because it was like $48 for 2 shirts, and I was like, dang it, Christmas is canceled already. I just filed for an LLC. That was like $175.
Was it really? I gotta look at that.
Yeah, it was like $48 for 2. Yeah, it's. I just gotta. I gotta get through Christmas before I can start ordering more shit. So I don't know, man. Like, stuff. Yeah. So yeah, look into that.
Sorry, how do we? This is Ray. How do we order the shirts? Is it too late?
Click on the link in the agenda where it says group order. You see that at the bottom, Ray? You still with me, Ray? Okay.
Sorry, I went back on mute. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So there's a link. It says group order.
Okay.
And just click on it, and then put in your payment information.
Okay, cool. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, that's about it. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, positive reinforcements? All right, my friends, I really appreciate your time, and we'll see each other on Instagram, Slack, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all the social platforms. So y'all have a good Sunday, all right? Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, Blake.
Bye.